Hey guys, in today's tutorial we are going to be making this alien plushie. It is super quick and easy to make, great for beginners. You can do this in different types of yarn. For this video we'll be using a weight 5 bulky yarn, but I've made these in worsted, super bulky. They come out super cute every time, so grab what yarn you need and a hook that goes with that and we will get started. For our project today, you're going to need a weight 5 bulky velvety yarn. I got this at Hobby Lobby. It is the Baby Bee brand. You're also going to need a 5mm H hook, some scissors, a needle, a stitch marker, and then 30mm safety eyes. You're also going to need some Fiberfill to stuff your alien. Okay, so we're going to start with the head first. So to do this, you're going to start with a magic ring. And if you don't know how to make a magic ring, you can always chain 3, slip stitch to the first chain, and then you'll make your stitches inside of that ring. Okay, so we have our ring made. So we're going to start out with 6 single crochets in our magic ring. Alright, once you have those 6 made, just go ahead and pull on that tail there and close the loop. So we have our 6 made. You're going to grab your stitch marker. I put my stitch markers at the end of my rounds, but I know a lot of people put them at the beginning. It's totally up to you how you do that. So for round 2, we're going to increase in each stitch around. So we'll put 2 single crochets in each stitch. So we're going to go into our first stitch here and make 1 single crochet and then 2 single crochets, both in that first stitch. Then we'll move to the second stitch and make 2 more, and just continue that around, and then at the end of round 2 you should have 12 single crochets made. Alright, and that finishes off round number 2. Moving on to round 3, we're going to start with 1 single crochet in this first stitch here. So just put 1, and then in the second stitch we're going to increase. So put your 2 single crochets into that second stitch. So 1 single crochet, increase, and we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around. So the next one we're going to make 1 single crochet, and then in the next we're going to make an increase. All right, so just repeat that around until you get to the end of round 3. All right, and moving on to round 4, we're going to continue our increase rounds. So this time we're going to put 1 single crochet in the first 2 stitches, and then we're going to increase in that third stitch. So start out with 1 single crochet, and then 1 single crochet in the second stitch, and then in that third stitch we're going to make our increase. And then we'll just repeat that around. So 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, increase. So just continue that pattern around until you get to the end of round number 4. All right, moving on to round number 5, we're going to do 3 single crochets and increase in the 4th stitch. So 1, 2, and 3, and then increase in that 4th stitch. So for some of these rounds, I will just go ahead and meet you at the end of the round. So you could just pause the video whenever you need to catch up for that round. That way the video is not way too long. So go ahead and finish your 3 single crochets and increase, and I'll meet you at the end of this round. Okay, and for round 6, we're going to do 4 single crochets and then increase in that 5th stitch. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then increase in the 5th stitch. Okay, for round 7, we're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So there's no increasing in round 7. So just 1 increase each stitch around. At the end of this round, you should have 36 stitches completed. Moving to round 8, we are going to do 1 more increase round. So this time we're going to do 5 single crochets and then increase in that 6th stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then increase in the 6th. So go ahead and repeat that around, and like I said, this is the last increase round. After that, we'll be building up the sides of the head. Alright, so that was our last increase round. So now we're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around for 7 rounds. So that would be rounds 9 through 15. And this will complete the sides of the head and make the main portion of it before we start decreasing to finish that off. So again, you're going to just put 1 single crochet in each stitch around for 7 rounds, rounds 9 through 15. After that, you're going to want to grab your safety eyes because we'll put those in next. So I will meet you back at the end of round 15 and we will add our eyes. Okay, so this is what the head should look like at this point at the end of round 15. So now we're going to grab our eyes and go ahead and attach those. So I go up 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, and then just go ahead and pick a spot to put your eyeball. So 1, 2, 3, and that opening right in between the 3rd and 4th row, you're going to go ahead and add your first eye. Okay, snap the back onto that. All right, so there's our first eye. Then grab your second, and then I go over quite a ways because you want them separated pretty good. So just kind of eyeball it. It's gonna, or no pun intended there. You're going to want a good separation. So it'd look about like this distance right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stitches that I've got in between the 2 of them. Alright, so the eyes are attached, so we can go ahead now and move on to round number 16. So this time we're going to start decreasing. And for this round, round number 16 only, we're going to work in the back loop only. So normally we go under both loops. This time we're just going to go under that top loop right there and leave this first one alone. Okay, so that's going to give us a little bit of a ridge on the bottom of the head. So for round number 16, we're going to make 5 single crochets and then we're going to decrease over the next 2. So go ahead and make your 5 single crochets. Okay, so there's 5 single crochets, and then we're going to decrease over the next 2. So go ahead and insert your hook into that top loop only there. Pull your yarn up, insert your hook into the next stitch, the top loop only, pull your yarn through. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 3, and that is a decrease. So I'll show you that one more time. So make your 5 single crochets. Okay, so we made our 5, and then we're going to insert our hook into the top loop only of our next stitch, pull up a loop, insert it into the next top loop, pull up another loop. Again, we have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3, and that is our decrease. So go ahead and continue that pattern around. So 5 single crochets and decrease, and I will meet you back at the end of this round. All right, so for now round number 17, we're going to do 4 single crochets and decrease. So same thing as the last time, but this time you're going to go under both loops. So the back loop only was just for that round. From here on out, you'll use both loops. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then decrease. So insert under both loops this time, pull your yarn up, insert under the next stitch, pull your yarn up, and make your decrease. So again, that's 4 single crochets and then decrease. Okay, and for round 18, same thing, but we're going to do 3 single crochets this time and then decrease. So same thing as the last round, 3 single crochets and then decrease. After this round, you should have a total of 24 single crochets made, and next we are going to go ahead and start stuffing it. So go ahead and grab your Fiberfill and get ready for that. Okay, so this is what our alien looks like so far. So go ahead and grab your Fiberfill and get the head stuffed pretty firmly. You want to add enough to where it has that nice round shape at the end. So go ahead and stuff the head completely, and then we will finish off the last 2 decrease rounds to finish off the head. All right, now that we have the head stuffed, we're going to go ahead and finish 2 more decrease rounds to finish off the head, and then we'll close that opening. So for the next 2 rounds, you're just going to make decreases around. So we're going to make 12 decreases in round number 19. So you're going to insert your hook, pull it up, insert it in the next stitch, pull it up, and pull through all 3, and you're just going to repeat that all the way around. So you'll have a total of 12 decreases for round number 19. All right, in our last round, round 20, we're going to do the same thing as last round, decrease around. This time you will have 6 decreases made. Okay, so we are finished with crocheting the head, so now we're going to cut a little bit longer of a tail here so we can weave in this in and close that opening. So go ahead and cut your yarn and pull it through your loop there. And it's okay if you have a little bit of holes that you can see, visible holes that you can see, because we're going to cover this with the neck. You won't see the bottom of the head at all. So go ahead and grab your needle, and then you're just going to go up through one loop and out the other, and then pull on that, and then just keep doing that around until the hole is completely cinched closed. And then I just run my needle through a few times back and forth to completely get that end weaved in. All right, go ahead and cut that, and next we will be starting on the antenna. All right, so moving on to the antenna, we're going to make 2 of these to put on either side of the head, unless you want one to put right on the top. That would be super cute too. So we're going to start off with a magic ring again. And in this magic ring, we're going to make 5 single crochets. Okay, so I've got my 5 made. I'm going to go ahead and pull on that tail, close that opening. So for round 2, we're going to make our increases around. So we'll have a total of 10 10 stitches made after round 2. So increase in each stitch around. So 1 and 2 made in the first stitch, and then make 2 in the second stitch. Keep going around until you have a total of 10 stitches made. All right, so that is round number 2. For round 3, you're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So you'll have 10 again after round 3. So just 1 single crochet in each stitch. All right, so after this round, I'm going to go ahead and cut this middle tail here, get that out of my way. All right, and moving on to round number 4, we're going to decrease 5 times around. So this will get us back to 5 stitches made. So decrease over the first 2, and then decrease over the next 2, and you'll do that a total of 5 times. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far. At this point, I grabbed just a tiny bit of Fiberfill and stuff it in that opening there, just to kind of fill that in a little bit. Okay, moving on to the next round, which will be round number 5. We're just going to single crochet around, so 5 stitches. So 5 single crochets around. Okay, and then we're going to do that one more time for round number 6. So 5 single crochets around. Okay, after you make that 5th one, we're going to go ahead and slip stitch in that next stitch to finish it off. So make your slip stitch, pull your yarn out a bit, and you're going to want to cut a little bit longer of a yarn or a tail here so that we can sew it on at the end. Pull that closed. Okay, so this is what our antenna looks like. So go ahead and re-watch this part and make your second one, and then we will meet back and we will start on the legs. Alright, so we're going to move on and start making the legs now. So obviously we're going to need 2 of these. So I'll show you how to make the first one, and then you can go back and make the second one. So we're going to start out again with our magic ring. Okay, and in our magic ring we're going to make 6 single crochets. Alright, I've got my 6 made. Go ahead and close that opening. So for round 2, we're going to increase around just like we have been. So 2 single crochets in each stitch around. That will give you a total of 12 single crochets made. Okay, so that's the end of round 2. I'm going to go ahead and grab my stitch marker now. So for round 3, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and then we're going to increase in that second stitch. Okay, and we'll repeat that around. 1 single crochet and then increase. Okay, so that completes the bottom part of the foot. Now we're going to start building up the side of the legs. So just like we did on the head, for round number 4, we're going to work in the back loop only. So you're just going to make 1 single crochet in each stitch around, only in that back loop. That will leave that little ridge line and make the bottom of the foot flat. So go ahead and put 1 single crochet in the back loop only. Okay, so that is the end of round 4. So now for rounds 5 through 7, you're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around, and this time you'll go through both loops. So just 1 single crochet around for rounds 5 through 7. So I will meet you at the end of round number 7. Okay, so this is what our first leg looks like. So we're going to go ahead and cut a little bit of a length of your yarn here. We will be using this tail to do a little bit of sewing here in a minute. So go ahead and make your second leg. Just rewatch that part of the pattern. But after you get done with the second one, do not cut your yarn because we're going to just continue on from there and connect the legs. Alright, so we are now ready to connect our 2 legs. So again, do not cut your second yarn tail off here for your second leg. We're going to go ahead and grab our first leg, and the next stitch after the one we just, the last stitch here made, you're going to go ahead and insert your hook, grab your yarn, and you're going to make a single crochet, and that connects the 2 legs, and that connects the 2 legs. Okay, so next you're simply just going to single crochet around this first leg, just 1 single crochet in each stitch around. Alright, once you get that last stitch on the first leg made, we're going to go ahead and move this tail out of the way. You're going to single crochet into the next open stitch on the second leg. So right here, after our last one made, the next stitch over, make a single crochet. Okay, and that connects it on the other side. So go ahead and keep going around, 1 single crochet in each stitch around. All right, that's the last stitch of the first round of the body. So at this point you should have 36 stitches completed around. Now we're going to use this tail to close this opening because we have a hole here in the middle that we don't want. So go ahead and grab your yarn needle here, and then you're just going to sew that opening shut. So go ahead and just kind of weave back and forth through both legs until it completely closes. And then I just come out the bottom here and then weave that in. Okay, and go ahead and cut that. And then we'll move on to round 2 of the body. So for rounds 2 through 5, we're just going to make 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So each round will be a total of 36 single crochets made. So again, that's rounds 2 through 5, and I will go ahead and meet you back at the end of round 5. Okay, so now that we're finished with round 5, this is what it should look like. We're going to go ahead and start our decrease rounds. So for round number 6, we're going to do 4 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you'll decrease over the next 2. Okay, so again, that's 4 single crochets and then decrease. So go ahead and finish this round and I will meet you at the end. Okay, moving on to round 7, we're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So for the end of round number 7, you should have a total of 30 single crochets. Okay, and for round 8, we're going to do 3 single crochets and decrease. So 1, 2, and 3, and then decrease over the next 2. Okay, and for the last round, which will be round 9, we're just going to single crochet 1 in each stitch around. At the end of round 9, you should have 24 single crochets made. Okay, once you get your last stitch made, go ahead and slip stitch in that next stitch there. Pull your yarn up, and you'll want to cut a little bit longer of a tail, as we'll use this to sew it onto the head. Okay, at this point you'll want to grab your Fiberfill and stuff the whole body firmly. Make sure you get enough down in the feet. So go ahead and do that and then set that aside, and next we will be making the arms. Okay, starting with the arms, again you'll want to make 2 of these. So let's watch the first one, then you can re-watch to make the second one. So go ahead and make your magic ring. And in our magic ring, we're going to put 6 single crochets. All right, go ahead and pull that tail and close your opening. Okay, and then for round 2, we're going to increase in each stitch around. So make your 2 single crochets in each stitch. All right, so at the end of round 2, you should have 12 stitches made. For round 3 and 4, we're going to go ahead and just put 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So each round will be 12 stitches. So again, do that for rounds 3 and 4. Moving on to round 5, we're going to decrease over these first 2 stitches here. So make your decrease. And then after that, we're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch round. So this round only has that 1 decrease at the beginning. Okay, and for round 6, we're going to do the exact same thing. So we're just going to put 1 decrease over the first 2, like that, and then we're just going to single crochet 1 in each for the rest of the round. And so by the end of round 6, we will have 10 total single crochets made. Okay, at this point I'm going to go ahead and grab some Fiberfill, and I just put some in the very bottom part of the arms. I don't stuff them all the way up. So just enough to fill kind of where the hand would be. Alright, that's good enough like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to round 7. So for round 7, we're going to make 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and 3, and then decrease. And then you're going to do that one more time. So 3 single crochets and decrease. Alright, in our last round, round 8, we're just going to single crochet around, 1 in each stitch. This will give you a total of 8 single crochets at the end. Okay, so once you're finished, go ahead and slip stitch to that next stitch. And then cut a longer tail so we can sew it onto the body. Alright, so that's the first arm finished. Go ahead and rewatch that to make the second arm, and then when you are finished with that, we will go ahead and sew it all together. Alright, it's time to sew our alien together, so grab your head and your antenna, and we'll sew those on first. So what I do is I count my rows about 7 over to place my antenna. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I sew it kind of right over that 7th and 8th row, or around. So you're just going to sew around the base of the antenna here and get them in place, and then weave in your ends when you're done with that. So go ahead and sew those both on, and then I will show you how to sew the body on. Okay, so we've got the antenna on, and that's what that should look like. So now we're going to use the head and connect the body. So you just basically want to line it up so that the legs are facing the right direction, and then you'll just sew it on just like you did with the antenna. So I always start mine in the back and then just go around the whole body and sew it onto the head. Okay, so the body is now sewn on. So next we're going to put the arms on. So for these, I go ahead and just sew the top together. So you're going to fold it in half and just go through both sides, back and forth, until you get all the way across. It just makes it easier to sew it onto the body. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and line this up on the very side, directly under where the antenna is, and then right where like the head and the body meet, and just sew the arm on directly to that spot. Alright guys, our alien is finished and he is adorable. So if you enjoyed this pattern, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned, and I will be adding some photos of some upcoming patterns I'm going to be posting here on YouTube. You don't want to miss those, so if you hit the bell icon, that will let you know as soon as I have a new tutorial up. So I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.